carrying on to the next and the last section, and this is the second sub chapter under the first one, which is teaching the children or the phase of the youth, is encouraging the marrying of the son off at a young age. So that Ibn Jawzi goes on to say, when the son becomes a teenager, his father should marry him off because it was mentioned in the hadith, whosoever son reaches puberty, he can marry him off, but he doesn't do so, then the son commits a sin, then they will both share the burden of that sin. Now this hadith, lam yuthbit, it's not something which is established on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but it's definitely, when you look at marriage, especially in the different times of age, then it's definitely something that needs to be given consideration. The rulings when it comes to marriage amongst children, or amongst not children, amongst young men who are ready to get married, then it changes from person to person, as we're going to see in the next few paragraphs. It says, therefore, it is surprising when a father forgets how it will be as a teenager. Remember, this is Ibn Jawzi speaking. It's surprising how a father, he forgets this, how it will be as a teenage year, and he forgets his teenage years, how he was put to trial. Remember, Ibn Jawzi, he died in the year 597, so this is very early. This is a time, think about fitna then, and then versus the fitna now, almost 1,000 years later. He forgets the suffering and the danger of falling into sin at such a young age. The father, keep this in mind, okay? You can't forget what you were going through and what you've seen and what you see going on in this day and age. That said, the father should know and be aware of the fact that his son will be subjected to what he previously went through. Ibn Ibrahim al-Harbi, he said, the basis of correction in boys is the influence of the boys on each other. However, sometimes in very rare cases, a child may opt for knowledge over marriage and keep teaching himself patience. For instance, Ahmed ibn Hanbal, rahimahullah ta'ala, he did not get married until after he was 40 years old, rahimahullah ta'ala. So again, the rulings when it comes to young men and young women getting married, it changes from person to person. Okay, it could be something which is wajib on a person. If he's been put to trial and he has the ability, and he has he has the ability, he's been put to trial, it's a big sin, he fears falling into major sin, could be wajib upon him. Likewise, it could be mustahab, a person who has the ability, to get married. He has a small inclination, but he's not put to trial. Could be mustahab, recommended. There could be something which is just simply mubah. Someone who's, he has the ability, but he's not being put to trial. He's just going on about his life. It's mubah. You can get married if you want. Not get married. Some situations it could be haram. You don't have the capability. You don't have the ability to be just. You don't have the money nor the time. You could put somebody in a hardship. This could be haram upon you. Okay? Or it could be something which is makruh. So that the ability of a person getting married, the son getting married, the young daughter or the teenage daughter, teenage son getting married, it goes back to everybody's personal situation. Everyone's personal situation. Remember this hadith right here. It's not authentically established, but you should encourage the marrying of your children when they are ready. Imam Ahmed, he didn't get married. He was busy. He was busy with knowledge until after he was 40. And Imam Ahmed, not too many people like Imam Ahmed. So you have to make sure you take that in consideration as well. He was busy with knowledge. He has a whole madhab named after him, rahimahullah ta'ala. And he was asked about, when he was carrying his ink pen and the pen and the ink. And they said, until when you want to continue to carry this? I'm sure you guys all heard this, right? He said, al-miqbara ila al-maqbara, meaning I'm carrying this ink, this thing for ink in my pen, etc., until I die. Always seeking knowledge, always continuing seeking knowledge. They would ask him, Ya Ahmed, when would you take a rest? When will you take a rest? When will you take some type of raha? He said, al-raha fil akhirah. The rest will be in the hereafter. It's not right now. Okay, so he was busy with knowledge. This is why what delayed him to after 40. And likewise, like we said earlier, Imam Ahmed, rahimahullah ta'ala, his mom will have to stop him from going out at night to seek knowledge. At a young age, he wanted to seek knowledge. He wanted to benefit. He wanted to seek the khair. He wasn't worried about getting married. He wasn't worried about the things that we're worried about in this day and age of the dunya. Likewise, he would stay up late at night, Imam Ahmed, rahimahullah ta'ala, throughout his nights, where he would have to, because his mom was very vigilant and making sure that he wasn't overdoing it and making sure he wasn't, he would take it easy. So what would he do? He would put a lamp on and put the cover over him so he didn't disturb anyone, and nobody would see that he was what? Seeking knowledge, writing, reviewing, okay, taking notes, etc. throughout the night. Rahimahullah ta'ala. So he's a different situation and a different example. With that, we're going to stop for today.